So the reason behind this particular program is to make sure that I bring a little momentum in all your work. And if there are any specific questions regarding any of the programs that I am conducting, or because every now and then I come up with a new kind of program. So these programs will be different for different levels, and people would be interested in knowing at least. Forget about not everybody can or could join, but at least that way it will be easy for them to understand what is the kind of syllabus that I am tackling, and what is the range of knowledge that is being given to you in this particular programs. Apart from that, you might I personally have experienced many number of times that every day when I open up something, I see in Insta, I see in Hi Rina, I see on Insta, Facebook, and different kinds of social networks wherein a lot of artists have been producing some good work. So whenever we open, and whoever wants to really draw something, they would encounter these works like on Facebook or Insta, and they get inspired. But when it comes to actually picking up a subject, it'll always be a kind of war here. War, war, war. Like what do you wanted to, what I really wanted to produce. And now that you are into good number of mediums like pencils, charcoals, acrylics, watercolor, and color pencils, you do not know which one to choose. So and you all always wanted to create something new, not just copying something. So such kind of questions are there. I mean, I gave you a couple of questions, but there are lot many number of questions. Lot many people keep asking me. So each and every time I keep answering all of them. So instead of that, what I thought is like at least I will make you remember that I am still part of your life. That's one thing. Second thing is there are a lot of batches that are done with, and whenever I whenever I recollect them, I ping them saying that what's going on, what is your new work. Then they say that I stopped drawing, sir. I'm not getting enough time, sir. I'm busy, sir. I'm pregnant, sir. I'm married, sir. I'm getting married, sir. We are looking alliance, sir. So many things. I went to moon, sir. I'm trying to go to Mars, sir. Such kind of different answers I get. So whatever it is, they are all. This is all part of life. If you are appearing for exams, it's part of life. If you are going to a next class, 10th class, intermediate, it's part of life. For example, let me tell you, if you are eating, for example, nowadays, previously they used to eat only eat, and they used to eat like puja. They used to basically take some water and bow down to the lord and saying that thanks for giving all this food, and they'll pour some water around it, and they'll start take a first morsel, and they'll go down to lord, they pray to lord, and they'll eat. That means it's a puja, paid puja. That's the reason the word has come, paid puja. So puja, nowadays there is no puja. Directly they will go sit and zap through WhatsApp and they'll eat. So when you are doing all these things while eating, can't you draw while doing all the other things? That's my question. We are, I mean, there are parents saying that whenever they have enrolled into one session, and they say that I'm coming up with another advanced session, and she is very good at it. Can you, are you planning to continue? They say that my kid is in 9th class now. She's preparing for IIT. What IIT? I did not prepare for IIT even intermediate. In intermediate also, I did not prepare for IIT. So now, once I am done, I got a job, and the other person who was in REC, who finished his REC, REC is Regional Engineering College at our time. Now it is NIT, National Institute of Technology. NIT student is just बगल में, मेरे बगल में बैठे थे. His name is Sridhar. He he and myself, we are sitting just diagonally opposite cubicles. There is not too much variation uh, uh, in the salaries. It is because the way how we put our effort is what it matters the most when it comes to drawing salary. That means not everybody needs to be a doctor. Not everybody needs to be an engineer. There is a special cup of tea for each one of you. Your mind is made for something. I'm not telling you all of you guys here are supposed to be artists. No. My point is there is something called visual arts. Apart from there are so many other arts like dance, play, music, so many other things are there. Like that, visual arts is one of the best medicines. If you have an acidity, you go to homeopathy, you go to Ayurvedic, you go to allopathy, you go to naturopathy. There are so many are there. Which one will basically suit to you? Which one you wanted to? If you do not wanted to get affected by the side effects, you go to homeopathy or Ayurvedic. That's how there is one cup of tea for each and everybody. And this visual arts is also for some couple of people. This is one cup of tea. And when you have learned so much in visual arts, which not everybody is actually able to grasp so many things and get so much of knowledge, so much of in-depth knowledge, profound knowledge in just pencil sketching. Since you have already received all these things, why do you wanted to loosen it? Why do you want to take it light? I'm not saying put 10 hours, 15 hours every day. I'm saying constantly put some time. I'm not saying every day also, weekly 3 hours or 4 hours. That acts like a therapeutic treatment and which helps you to understand how much, like there is a statement, to understand there is an ocean of knowledge, you should have an ounce of knowledge. To understand that there is an ocean of knowledge in every field or every walk of life, you should have an ounce of knowledge. So if you do not know, if you do not have that ounce of knowledge, now tell me, how will you understand there is so much of knowledge? That's the reason I request all of you, according to your own schedules of life. I'm not someone who can say that, why don't you spend every day 1 hour? It's not possible. For me, from last 3 days, my cousin's marriage is there. From 3 days, I have been shopping for continuously 8 hours, 9 hours. 3 days, continuously. Every day I went to shopping. And वो लोग सब लोग मेरे थोपड़ा देख के they could recognize saying that you are coming every day, sir. हाँ, मैं दूसरी बार शादी कर रहा हूँ, कुछ ऐतराज है क्या आपको? That's what I was being asking. It was a jokey level. So the point is, 3 days, from last 3 days, I could not spend some time. And second day, when I went out, I was able to shop for 6.5 hours only. So I came back little early. So I finished this particular work. I think you might have seen on my status today. Okay. Right. So what I am trying to explain you is, nobody will tell you that you have got this time for you today. Why are you not utilizing? Nobody will tell you. Probably at Mrinmay's age or at small young kids' age, some children's age, mother or father would have come down and say that you have got some time today. Why don't you draw? But for people like Chaitra, me, Anjali, or Anu, Soumya, we are all messed up with our personal lives and professional lives. Nobody will tell you, because we know that there is something, some beautiful medicine called visual arts. Whenever we get some time, 40 minutes, 1 hour, 1.5 hour, after our kids go to sleep, or in the early in the morning, like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, hi Kusuma, we get up and we get into drawing mode and we draw something, because we try to find some time for others. You will know the value of these things only when you will not find enough time for your drawing in your life. You'll know the value of these things only when you don't find the time for your life. So please do not do that. Try spending good amount of time in week. Don't ever try. Whoever are in the classes, who are in the regular classes, are supposed to spend 1 to 2 hours time every day. Who have not been regularly in touch with me or regularly drawing because for various other things, they are supposed to take out 3 to 4 hours per week and start drawing. If you are not drawing, please try to draw again. If you're drawing, try to improve the amount of quality time that you spend. Okay. Early morning, when you get up, even before brush, you can start working. Have a 1-2 glasses of water and start working. Okay. Now I'll stop my usual class. Now Mrinmay is top left. So from there I'll start asking, and I'll give you some demo. Probably, let me tell you one thing very honestly. All of you guys have been in touch with me from last at least 5-6 years. Couple of them are 5-6 years. Couple of them are very new. But for all of them, Today, whatever I am going to explain or explain you with the details will be new to you. Again, the same people, when you come down to listen to me after 3 months, there will be something new again. That's for sure. And I think Chaitra, Reena, and these people who have been associated with me from long time, they know. Why? Because I have been teaching some new things every time. So every time I promise you to give you new things, not the regular routine one. But apart from that, if you have anything in specific, please do post that question to me. I'll explain, and the rest of the people will get benefited out of it. Mrinmay, any questions, beta, before we get into any damn thing you can ask me. Don't hesitate.
The this week's assignment, the two pots, the print which you had taught us, can you just show once again? I was not getting that right.
Okay, it's a floral design, right?
Yes, sir, the floral design.
Right. Yeah, anything else? Anybody? Anybody has got any other questions? Intera?
So,
Yeah.
how to paint a flower, like petals of flower? How to make petals of flower?
Paint or draw?
Draw, yes, draw.
Okay.
Draw and shading, yes.
Right. Paint. Remember, painting is not just about. Of course, there are there are 2-3 kinds of paintings that can be done. One is impressionistic. The other one is realistic. The one is in between these two. So it's up to you. What is the amount of time you have got? What is the deadline that you have got in your hand? So with these two things, it differs. If you wanted to draw loosely, for example, there is a portfolio that needs to be submitted next week. So you have to do it in impressionistic style. If you've got enough time, your own project, you can work it in a very realistic style. If you've got a deadline which is just in a week or 2 weeks, you'll have to combine these both two. Like impressionistic style mein dal ke, thoda bahut you'll have to add little details, not too many. And all these things will happen only with 2-3 different brushes. Okay, and 2-3 different colors. So you don't have to get into each and every vein and draw. No, not required. Two things. One is the actual color of the leaf or petal. Second thing is the texture of the petal, which comes with respect to the hog hair brush. This is hog hair brush. This is very tough, which is used for oil colors and acrylic colors. So when you use this, you will get textures of the petals and textures of the skin. The amount of paint that you take, the color and the brush you take will give you all the details of the subject that you are trying. Okay, right. So since Mrinmay asked the petals, I'll give her. Keep for these petals. I think every one of you have gone through this particular assignment of drawing 2 pots which has floral design on it.
If you're drawing a pot also, then can you show like how to give shine to it?
Yeah, I will. So Mrinmay, this is how you draw. So when you are drawing the petals, the small floral design petals, you should always take a blunt pencil, not too much sharp, because you are drawing with this. If you are taking a sharp pencil, it breaks here with the pressure that you are putting down. So hold your pencil like this and see, this is the leaf that you got. You don't have to draw the leaf like this. Again, you will have to fill it up. It looks absurd. Now see, this one looks more realistic and beautiful. Okay. Now with the same thing, if you lift, it behaves like a pencil. If you keep it flat to the paper, it behaves like a brush. Like this. So you can create any kind of twig. This is bud. Got it in my mind? Yeah. Hold your pencil like this. Make sure that this doesn't hold, because if you are holding it like this, okay, you will not be able to stick your whole length of your lead onto the pencil. So hold it like this so that it has a gap, a little gap, and then you can start drawing.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Good. Right. So there is one thing that people have been asking me, how to get the finest shine on the porcelain. So this is the brush, makeup brush, a blushing brush that you can use to quickly work on. Okay. So if you do not get this link, you can search for blushing brush on Amazon. You'll get it. So when you're drawing this, you'll get it like this. When you get it like this, it is very easy for you to create a white, pure highlight. See? So when you draw a pot, this is the pot, okay? And assume that this is the dark area, or this is the light area, okay? Or in the center, whatever it is, however you want to. Use a small brush like this. Use a small brush like this to work on the edges. Use flat brush like this to work on the whole area before you start. But if there is something wrong, for example, if you wanted to create a finest kajal line, instead of using this pencil, if you use such fine brushes with the powder, it will create a blended kajal line in the eye, and it looks very, very realistic. And this is the best way. See? With this, you can create, I'm assuming that the light is hitting straight. Okay, that's the reason both the edges of the pot are little darker when compared to the center portion. This is how you create. This is how you get the finest area, smoky effect areas. Easy. And you don't have to use brush at all, pencil at all. With the brush itself, you can create good number of tones on top of it. Got it, Soumya?
Yes, Venu. One more thing, that metallic look.
See, metallic look is the difference between the metallic, whatever you call it as. One is, there are two ways. One is aluminum, one is steel. So aluminum is also shining, but it is matte finishing. Steel is shining, but it is glossy finishing. So whenever there is a metallic finishing, it has to be straight like this. Metallic should be like this. It looks like metal. Exactly. The edges should be sharp. But when it comes to the glossy finishing, this is glossy finishing. That is metallic finishing. But when it comes to the aluminum finishing, which you might be thinking that it is a matte finishing. Okay. Such matte finishings will give you this effect.
No, like in texture, not in shine.
Okay.
The texture don't come with me.
Example, just give me an example. I can give you more insight.
Any, like, if you you can create and take any like non-living thing, any object, and if I want to, like, suppose it is a glass only, steel glass.
Okay.
So that steel one I think it will come, but then that matte finish does it
Matte finish of what? Tablecloth?
not, like any non-living thing. I don't get that matte look.
Give me example of the object. You told me steel glass. Steel glass is not matte. It is a shiny.
It's glossy, right?
Hmm.
Let me think of an example. I'll find something and then I'll share.
You can show some picture to me. That will help me understand clearly your question. Okay.
Sure. Okay.
Good. Yeah. Next, anybody has any other questions? Okay. Now,
Sir?
yeah,
Sir, Chaitra here, sir.
Petra, go ahead.
Sir, I recently bought a Bristro electric eraser.
Hmm.
Do you have one electric eraser? And if you have, please just show me how to use it.
Yeah, electric eraser is Tihu eraser I have. TIHOO. Tihu eraser
Okay.
is also a very good professional eraser which helps you to draw. It's like the same way. It's like the same eraser only, but you don't. If you are using here, for example, you wanted to draw the finest dot here, small dot.
Right.
What you do? You'll have to put it like this, and you'll have to move your hand
Correct.
to get the white dot. Can you
Yes.
see white dot, or I can draw here.
I can see, sir.
Okay. There in electric erasers, you have to use this particular area. You'll have to put it onto the sandpaper. You'll have to put it on the sandpaper so that it becomes like a sharp pencil.
Okay.
Okay, like this. Where is it? Okay, like this. So it becomes like this. Instead of like this, okay, the eraser will become like this, very sharp.
Okay, sir.
When used at this particular area by pressing the button, without moving your eraser, Tihu eraser, you just touch here. Because it rotates automatically, it cleans and creates a very round and bright area.
Okay.
That's it. So,
Okay.
eraser, Stedler, Daler-Rowney, Derwent, and Tihu. All the electric erasers does the same job. The difference, all the difference is in the eraser itself.
Okay.
What kind of material of eraser is used? The best eraser that is available right now for a normal people is Tombow. It used to be 1,000, 1,200. Now it has come down to 300. That's enough. Okay. But if you wanted to really experiment with electric erasers, yeah, there are many. Tihu is a very good, new and a sophisticated one. TIHOO.
TIHOO, sir.
Is one of the sophisticated electric erasers which can most often can erase charcoal also. But remember again, if you are drawing the charcoal with powder, it can give you brightest whites. But if you are using charcoal pencil, it becomes difficult for the artist to remove the charcoal or charcoal from the paper. That's the reason I would always advise you to work with brushes with charcoals. When it comes to charcoals, work with brushes. It will be easy for you to understand where to create white highlights, and how to do that is a very good job and easy job. You will thoroughly enjoy using erasers. But if you are using pencil, it will be difficult.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
No problem.
I have a question, Uncle.
Yeah, beta.
When I'm working on my tiger, like the white fur part, with my electric eraser, I feel like to get the widest white, I put too much pressure, or I just lightly touch it to get a thin line. But how do I make sure I get a thin line, but the widest white?
Right. Now, there are different kinds of charcoal powder. You are working with charcoal, is it?
Yes, Uncle.
Okay. Now, see, you asked this question. So I created this tint. There is a white line that formed. It is bright, good. I understand. And you also admit that it is really good. But now, when I'm working on this particular area, now you tell me which is bright. So
the right side one.
The brightness of white light depends upon how much the background is dark. So the background dark can be made with charcoals in different ways. Number one is a light one is the charcoal powder that you create, or charcoal powder from a brand called Cretacolor, which is already available. Okay. A little dark one is General's charcoal powder. Third one is you can create with the help of this pencil. One second. Yeah, this pencil, which is called carbon, Stedler carbon. You can have 2B, 2B, 4B, 6B, 8B. You can use 8B and scrape it on the sandpaper, collect the powder into a steel plate or porcelain jar. So Stedler carbons. Okay. Fourth one is compressed or charcoal pencils. Charcoal pencils, again, when I say, different brands are there. Camlin will give you a light one. Devon will give you a little dark one. This Stedler one will give you a good dark. The Stedler charcoal pencils. And Panta Paris will give you more dark one. General's charcoal pencils. General's charcoal pencils, which are brown. And this is pit charcoal pencils. These Generals and pit charcoal pencils, when scraped in on sandpaper, will give you more darker. So Generals and pit pencils, PITT. Okay, charcoal pencils only. Again, everything is charcoal. Lastly, compressed natural charcoal. Compressed natural charcoal is something that gives you the darkest tone. What is the compressed natural charcoal? Is this one. Panta Paris compressed charcoal pencils. You will not get this. Please keep searching various websites like Art Launch, Reliance, Fine Art Material. So many are there. Like this, when you keep searching, if you get this, people who are working on charcoals, these are the best charcoals that you can find it in your life. Panta Paris charcoals are the best charcoals, compressed charcoals, which will give you the darkest darks. So far,
So again, you have to scrape it on sandpaper and then apply with the brush, right? Sir?
You can also directly apply, but how much dark you want, you do not know. So it's always advisable to use scraped powder. Somebody will.
Now, if you want to add it directly also, will you rub it? How will you blend it? With a finger? But again, the brightest white will not be seen so much.
No, if you are creating a darkest black, then use it directly and use powder. If you wanted to create a brightest white and the darkest black, use only brushes, no fingers.
Yes.
No fingers, no stumps. Yeah. Somebody was asking something.
This was a very good question, sir. I don't know who asked it, but thanks.
Yeah. Tandrika. So this, no YouTube channel, no website, no online instructor will give you this unless and until you experience it. Only then you will get it. Lot of people think that how this artist could bring brightest whites from the darkest black. It is because of these, because there are several, not only 6, there are 10, 12 also you get if you keep experimenting. I gave you just an overview. If you ask me, I'll give you 20 points. In my experience, if you ask me, I'll give you 20 points. If you mix Stedler, 5B, 6B along with some charcoal powder, it will give you in between. It's like very cloudy effect, angel in the cloud kind of effect it will give you. So all this is something that you collect it with all your experience. So you should never feel like something which is being taught is the end of the story. No, there is always a story behind it. Okay, yeah. Krupa, any questions, Krupa?
Noted, sir.
Okay, good. Anjali?
Yes, sir.
Any questions for me?
Yes, sir. Sir, value study, what is a good method to do value study?
Value study is, first of all, whenever you are working with black and whites, especially with not only pencils, with mono paints, whether it is eye paints or acrylic paints. Whenever you are working, you need to basically create a swatch.
Okay.
To create a swatch, swatch is a kind of basically 4H, 3H, 2H, H, HB, like that you can B, 2B, like that you can, how many ever number of pencils you have, create so many boxes and fill in the boxes with each and every pencil's tint. Okay, each and every box needs to be done with a single with the single pencil. That means if 4H is not giving you the right tint, don't add one more tint. Don't add one more pencil. Only 4H should be done with this. Same pressure, same pressure should be used on each and every block for each and every pencil. It creates a tint. Now tear this paper and stick it onto the tough pad like this. So it's this is a thick pad. Okay, and have a handle to it. Asian paints में अगर Asian paints के job shop में जाते हैं ना, they will have these swatches. Those are called swatches. That means all the pinks will be in one sheet, all the yellows will be in one sheet, all the reds will be in one sheet, like that. So create that sheet that will help you understand all the colors, whatever you have, very easily. Now the important point is whenever you are drawing or painting, whenever you are opening any of your subject in the desktop, keep this swatch close to that particular subject's area which you wanted to draw. Okay, if for example this area, if you wanted to take this area, keep the swatch here and map this particular color, this particular area's color with any of these. H works, H matches this particular area. So use H pencil and draw with this. If you go to the top, HB works. Use HB. If you go to the top, it will give you B. So use B pencil. Like that, with paints, with pencils, with color pencils, with pastels, you can create this swatch, and then you have to use this swatch, place near the subject and see which color, which contrast matches with this particular area. Start using that color. Or it will happen only for a couple of hours. Over a period of time, your brain, eyes, your hand, everything will be tuned. You don't need this swatch again at all.
Okay.
That's for sure. That's for sure. I can give you in writing. I can vouch for it. Because your mind is tuned so well that it will see all the colors or all the contrasts that are required to get to this particular realistic mode. Yeah.
Okay. So we should always keep these ready now when we are preparing this swatch test.
Yeah, swatches will always help you in the initial days to understand, because every human being has got the same power. But if you have gone, if you have gone to some very recent WhatsApp messages, there is a lady who can see very clearly a human being who is at 1.5 kilometers away from her.
Right.
Okay, that is because she has got that ability. But if you create that ability all by yourself, then just wait a second, my cam got stuck. I'm restarting it, don't worry. So if that is happening, and if you wanted to create that particular effect, then you will have to work on your skill, right? Not everybody is blessed with that talent. If you wanted to get that, you will have to work. So the same thing is happening with us now. So not everybody is blessed with understanding all these things without swatches. So without swatches, out of thousands of artists, only 1 or 2 people would be able to see or understand this contrast. I have never worked with swatches, never ever. But I am teaching to create.
Sometimes it happens now, you just understand the color by seeing.
Correct.
So then also it is the by process, or you go by your gut feeling, or your observation, because everybody's observations are different.
My experience. Because I have been experimenting, my experience has taught me this, So since your experiment will take more time, like me, you don't want to spend 15, 16 years. So do this. It will teach you in 6 months or 1 year maximum. Then you can keep it aside and you can give it to your students or your son, daughter. Why? Because this is how I learned, and this is one of the best processes. Like that. Because experience can be shared, but it can't be transferred.
Right.
So I shared my experience. So you have to learn it by yourself.
Correct. Correct. Okay. Thank you, sir.
No problem. No problem. Yeah. Vatika.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you were asking only petals. Anything else?
No, sir, I'm good.
Yeah. If you are asking for petals, 1 second, somebody is talking.
So one quick question
Yeah.
on this charcoal, the shades of charcoal. You mentioned about Conte Paris compressed, right? So this is like an assorted pack we need, or there are a couple of other packs available as well.
Assorted packs are available, but not every time Amazon will give you the same packages, because few times packages are available, few times they are not available. So it becomes a difficult task for us to find out the same package what I have shown it to you. The same might be available, might not be available. So I can't tell you that you will have to try it out. I mean, in different websites, if you try.
Right. So, but then what is recommended? Assorted pack.
Assorted pack is always recommended.
Okay, sir, got it. And so, what is this charcoal Creta color? This is like a powder.
Powder. Creta color powders are available from charcoal brand, from Creta color brand. So
this one, Brusto is definitely not nice, sir.
So like it's a very cheap one. I mean, like for basic learners, that it will be useful. But this is Creta color charcoal. This is Creta color charcoal. I also have graphite here. So both are there. Like this, it is 700 rupees. You can use both this and graphite intermittently wherever it is required. But I sometimes, this is very light. Okay, if you wanted to create a little darker one, pencil and sandpaper scraping will definitely help you.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so you asked me petals. Let me share the screen with you. If that is the right thing that you want me to draw, then I'll show you petals. Can you see the petals?
Yes, sir.
Is this the one that you want?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Right. So I'll draw this and I'll show it to you. Meanwhile, other people can get ready with your questions.
Sir, one thing I also want to say. Sir, transparency, the bottle transparency in charcoal.
Bottle transparency, this one?
This is porcelain, no? So the see-through ones.
See-through ones, okay. Okay, this is the general way of outlining. Once the outlining is drawn, it's always advisable to use a little powder that will help you to create a tone. There are fine veins on each and every petal. Those fine veins are supposed to be captured properly. And there is a different pinks. This is darker pink. That's the reason there is a darker tone that needs to be laid down. And there are couple of pencil lines that are visible to you while drawing. Please avoid that finally. How do you avoid? Use your buds or brushes like this. It's not about how quick you finish your things. Remember, everybody, it's not about how quick you finish your things. It's about how much quality does your work show every time when you draw something. What is the quality that it shows? There are so many people out there who can quickly finish their works. It's not about how quickly. This, for example, if you are looking at Insta or WhatsApp, you will be, touched by the quality of work, not the quickness, right? If somebody is drawing really well, you will ask how much time did it take for him to finish the qualitative work. So the quality is always matters the most. And people have been drawing the portraits for more than 470 hours, 530 hours like this. It is because the way they spend the time so diligently and religiously. This is how petal is drawn. Can you see, Vartika?
Yes, sir.
This is the close-up look of a petal. Of course, you can add many more details as and when you get into each and every small portion.
So we can make it more realistic also, right?
Yes, yeah, depends upon your time, your patience.
Yeah.
If you have got good amount of time in finishing your work, then take it slowly and usme jaan dal do. The life that you have been given, you can put some piece of life into it. That's the reason the artists are charging good amount of money for those who are actually spending a lot of time in creating a realistic stuff. I'm talking about them, not somebody who is doing some abstract things, but realistic things needs a lot of time and patience. That's the reason realistics are little more expensive. If people don't understand, no worries, they will slowly start understanding the market, because it is very new to our Indians. It doesn't mean that they don't know, but they don't want to accept. That's it. See, there is no pencil line visible to you now. Is it any pencil line is visible to you now?
Sir, the periphery of, sorry, the outer line.
Yeah, the outer line is going to be blended into the next one.
Ah, got it,
That's
sir.
the reason you will not see the outline. That's a good question.
Okay. Okay, sir.
So when you draw this, where is the outline?
Got it, sir.
So when we draw one, you might be thinking that it is visible. But when you draw the other things around it, it automatically gets blended. Now you must be asking, what about the outline? Outline of the outer petal. This outline will blend into the background.
Background.
Yes.
Yeah, sir. Basically, no hard edges.
No hard edges at all.
Mhm.
So that is what I have explained in contrast, brightness, and sharpness. No sharpness. If you are creating any subject with your sharp outlines, it goes away from realism. The part of away could be millimeters, centimeters, kilometers. How far you wanted to keep your work away from your from realism is the amount of harsh outlines that you leave. It creates a distance between the realism and the work that you're drawing.
Sir,
Yeah.
Nidhi is waiting.
Oh, this is
Please, yeah.
okay. 1 second. 1 second. Just hold on for a minute.
Yeah, sure, sir. Sir, it got hanged for me only or for everyone?
सबके लिए
No, सबके लिए I freezed it. I'm reinstating that.
Acha, okay.
I got an important call, so I kept you on board.
Okay.
Yes, I'm back. Can you see my notes now?
yes sir.
Okay, right. So it's all about the amount of time that you keep it for your work. So if you are getting tired, please do not work continuously. Have a break so that all your energy will get refreshed, and you will put into okay. So you might be spending good amount of time in giving all the details to your subject. So never ever work continuously. Even it also adversely affects your physical body. So give some time so that it becomes easy for you to regain the energy and start as if you are starting the work for the first time. You get so much of energy and you give all the details. Okay, yeah. Anybody else? Anybody has got any questions? Somebody, Vatika, you were asking only petals, right? Anything else?
Yes, sir. So let's say a surface of an instrument, violin, if you have time, sir.
Surface
So
of
the of musical instrument, so it is very smooth, but it has texture as well. For example,
the one that you have sent.
in violin, there is little texture, but it is smooth.
Yeah, the one that you have sent.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. For example, if you are, I am sharing this picture with you. If you are looking at this kind of things, do let me know. I shared my screen. Is this what you are asking for? Can you see my screen?
Yes sir.
Okay. Is this what you are asking for, Kartika? Oh. Yeah, anyway, let her come back. But meanwhile, yeah, anybody has any questions? Any other questions? Anybody is working on their projects which seems to be throwing challenges?
Good morning, sir. This is Nidhi. I joined
Nidhi.
1 2 minutes.
We got it.
Yeah.
Sir, I had a question, but I don't know. I have entered late, so I'm not sure whether we
No
are
problem. No
discussing on monochromatic drawing, or I can ask a general question on color
You
pencils.
can ask me anything.
Okay. So one question that I had for color pencils was, which I am little confused since 2 3 days, that in case we want to buy a set which is not very high end, so we don't want to go for Prisma. So I have so which one to go? I have kind of tested two. One is Stedler watercolor Luna pencils, and another is this Brustro. There is one set of 72 pencils that is quite famous and going on these days.
Yeah.
So which one do you prefer, or if there is any other brand that you prefer, but it has to be lesser high end than Prisma, which can be used more for our daily work and probably demos and things like that.
Yeah, there are a couple of them. The lower is Brustro, but don't buy 48, buy 72.
Okay.
Okay. And second one is you can buy Derwent. Derwent Steadfast or Derwent Lightfast is something which is very good. So if you wanted to buy more premium, then you can go for Prismacolor or Faber-Castell or Caran d'Ache Luminance or whatever it is.
No, I don't want to go for high end. I am little confused between Brustro's set or Stedler Luna. I find Stedler Luna more saturated, or maybe supporting layering more, but Brustro also has a good review. So anything, or if anyone else wants to, pitch in and tell.
I used Brustro and it is
Okay.
really good.
Okay. Okay.
It is really
Okay.
good and it is very affordable, 18.99 or so.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Yeah.
For 72 pencils.
Yeah, for 72 pencils. So
Nidhi, you have seen my paintings also. Most of them are from by Bristol only.
Bristol only. Okay.
Right.
This
Most
one
of
I
them.
saw it from Prisma. It has come very beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Fine. I I don't know. Somehow this question was there from last 1-2 days.
yeah, Brustro is a very good pencil. The only problem with Brustro is it will give you instant effect, but it will not stay for long years because they are made for that. They are student grade. They are
Okay.
not artist grade. So since Nidhi, you are using it for doing demos for many other students,
Yeah.
I would wanted to say that this is really good. This is enough for you.
Great. Thank you, sir. That clears my doubt.
Yeah. For any teacher who is teaching, number of classes for number of students, if they are doing it with Prismacolor pencil, jaldi hi wo bankrupt ho jayenge. So
Right.
before getting into that, this is enough. This is more than enough, and it has got 72 colors. 72 if you.
True. That's a big range. That's a big range.
That's a very big range. That is enough.
Yeah. I don't know somehow why, but maybe if anybody else has also experienced, but this Stedler Luna pencils are very good. But by the time it has become, less than 50%, they are too much breaking. So I'm really not sure whether it is related to atmosphere. Like, if it is during little bit of colder time, the leads start crumbling in, or I have mishandled them, or is it just, quality of that pack? So
Stedler is known for break resistant. So
yeah.
and it is problem with our Indians especially because we do not have a cushioned ground. We have
Okay.
rough stone, right? That is the problem. So when we
Okay.
drop it, the lead inside breaks, and when you chisel the wood, the lead keeps on coming off. So the only solution is to keep things very safe.
Okay.
Okay? And I would tell you one advice is when you are placing your pencils, do not place your pencil when you are placing your pencils on the tables like this. Do not place the pencils on the table. Place the pencils on such kind of rags. This is a watercolor rag that I use. So place the rag and keep your pencils there. It will never fall.
Okay. Okay.
It will basically create a roughness and it will stop the pencils rolling off. So
I'm facing this problem in Stedler charcoal pencil. So when I use the soft charcoal Stedler, the lead breaks, and sometimes when I'm chiseling the wood, again the lead breaks. So I was wondering, it is only in soft charcoal I was facing this problem.
Number one is the shopkeeper would have dropped it many number of times. Number one. Second thing is soft charcoal's property is like that. You will have to be very careful. How careful is you will have to chisel the wood long enough. This is my soft charcoal pencil. One second. This is my soft. Look at here. Okay?
Yes, sir.
This is long. But if you are experiencing the break at once, don't chisel the wood this long. Chisel the wood half of it. Keep it only half, not this long. If it is breaking. And the other point is the soft charcoal is a very fragile one. You will have to be very careful, whether it is Cambrian or Stedler or anything. Unless and until you buy some Conte Paris. Why? Because Conte Paris has some glue, strong glue here, and the charcoal is very tough. And the charcoal is inside is very thick. The radium of the charcoal is very thick. That's the reason Conte Paris charcoals are preferred.
Got it, sir.
So with Brustro color pencils, I have observed that the shades of greens are not that good. They're not smooth. They're little scratchy.
Yeah, not every, for example, if you are taking a hard pencil of Camlin, it doesn't give you good result. Hard pencil of generals also, extra hard pencil, will not give you any result. Then I don't know why they have manufactured. But it is not the same way with every general charcoal pen, extra hard pencil. It comes with different qualities sometimes. That's how every color in every brand is not good. If you have seen Shirishar's explanation about the ballpoint pen, some pens with blue are really good. Some brands, in some brands, greens are good. So the brands which produces good blues may not produce good greens. So you'll have to experiment and have different brands producing different good colors. That is how color pencil artists will have 8-10 range of brands with them. Why? Because they use green. They know which brand's green is really good. They will pick up that green. That's how the whole work is not drawn with the simple one brand. This is the highest knowledge that an artist will possess over a period of time. That's the reason buying 72 colors brushstroke will not help you to produce a good project. But for demos, it's okay. That's the reason if you are looking at very professionals on Insta, they will have Caran d'Ache Luminance, Sennelier, Carbatello, Stedler, so many color pencils they have. Why? Because they know which color is very good in which brand. They'll pick up that particular color and start drawing.
Okay.
Yeah.
ग्रीन में मतलब मैंने जनरली देखा है, this is my observation, the depth, if we try to make leaves ना, they don't look very natural. Flowers and all they come, but पता नहीं वो depth नहीं आती है. So what can you show some small piece with color pencil how to make the leaves?
Color pencils, as I mentioned, if you are using only green, it will not give you the depth. You will have to use browns on the leaves.
Okay.
Browns on the leaves, when you mix, it gives you the depth. And again, if you are using extra brown, it will become a foliage. Make sure that you are using brown to a certain extent that it will show the life of the green. But if you are using extra brown, it will become lifeless. So you have to be very careful with that.
Okay. Yeah. I will try that.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
So, how to get linen fabric or canvas?
How to come again?
So, from where can we get linen boards or linen frames?
There is something called a Skyhawk.
Or
online on Amazon, there is something called a Skyhawk. Let me write it down. Skyhawk. This brand linen is very good. It is available both in black and white. That particular linen is really good. You can आराम से आप खरीद सकते हो. You will not get linen. You will also get linen roll, but you will get linen boards, already prepared boards, and they'll give you two times primed linen board. You get it. You have to prime it with another 2 times, and it will not take you much of effort or money, because you can use gesso, simple gesso.
Linen पे भी gesso apply करना होता है?
हाँ. Yes.
So linen strong, no?
Sorry?
मतलब why it is required?
I didn't.
It is also double prong. So is it really required to apply gesso?
Yes. Even if they give you primed one, you will have to apply 2 times gesso.
3 times?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
If you are painting, using oil painting, especially, you will have to apply 2 times, at least. There are artists who apply 4 times, but at least 2 times is required.
Okay. And then we have to smooth it with sandpaper. We have to make it smooth.
Yeah, sandpaper, very fine grit sandpaper. This is a fine grit.
Sorry, sir, I just missed it. Could you repeat, sir? I just got disconnected. I joined back.
Yeah, linen. Whenever you are buying linen, Skyhawk linen is the brand which is available on Amazon, and it is a very good linen. Happily, you can buy it. It is very smooth. On top of the Skyhawk, which is given to you with a framed board, it is stretched canvas that they sell to you. And there is also a roll which can be bought. But I would advise you to experiment with 1 or 2 Skyhawk boards, and then you can buy the roll if you want. So the stretched canvas which is given to you is a primed linen canvas. You can use 2 more coats with the gesso on the primed linen canvas, and then start using it for your projects.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Sir, which oil is good for oil painting other than linseed?
See, the linseed is not a brand, it is a material. So linseed material, there are different brands. So there is something called golden, which is not available, which is of course available, but it is very, very expensive. Golden is a very good one. Otherwise, you can buy Atelier linseed oil, which is a purified linseed oil. That's a very good one, Atelier. I use Atelier.
Okay.
For small dabba, it will cost for about 1,000 or 1,200.
Okay, but that usage will also be relative, no?
Yeah, you will have to use linseed with Liquitex medium. So when you use both mixture and some oil, it will give you good, finish. In Liquitex also, you will have 4 mediums: glossy medium, then texture medium, like that. So 3-4 mediums are there. So you will have to have small portions of each and every medium and see which one suits to your project that you are working on. You cannot ask someone and try using the same. Why? Because it depends upon the subject that you are choosing, and which one you are comfortable with that you will know only when you experiment.
So Delaroni kaisa hai? Delaroni ka, I was searching this linseed oil. So there was something called, I will just check and let you know.
Yeah,
There was
there,
name.
many other things are also there. It's all, I mean, all these are premium brands, what we are talking about. So it depends upon which one is really good. Only when you experiment, you will know. Yeah, Tandrika, tell me now.
Sir, just one thing, sir.
Hey, one second. Yeah, tell me, Tandrika.
In the violin picture you shared earlier, Uncle, about the string, how do you kind of pop it out?
Let me share the picture with you. Is this the one you are talking about?
Yes, Uncle.
Okay. So whenever you are working on this black shade, the best way to work on this thing is put a JM tape. Can you see this? JM tape. This tape, you can use it and paste it on your drawing along the sides of the black one. Okay, to the right side and left side, which forms as boundaries. Okay, and then start using this brush, not this brush, not this brush. This brush will dump the powder. Use this brush, and do not dump the powder. You will have to use number of coats. Okay, you can do it in 2 ways. Either you can finely use smaller areas to use the same plaster on the white areas and tape it, or otherwise you can use this whole thing on the black point. Once this is done, you can take a tambo, keep a scale and start erasing. It will give you that. But again, remember, only the mid portions. If you are closely watching, only this from here to here, it is shining. From here till here, it is not so much shining. It is dull. You will have to create the dullness. Okay. So from here to here, why is because it is exposed to light, number one. Second thing is it is the focal point is more. I mean, focal point is set here. That's the reason they are very clear. When you come towards the right portion, it is becoming blurred. So from here till here, you have to use Tombow eraser. From here till here, you will have to use this blunt eraser. If you have Kohinoor eraser, you can use Kohinoor eraser. Or if you have Tombow blunt, you can use Tombow blunt from here to here. So depends upon how crisp it is, you have to use sharp eraser. How blunt it is, you can use, how dull it is, you can use blunt eraser. If for this explanation, it took me so much to explain, right? To understand this, it will take years together. But since I already explained you the secret, it will be very easy for you. So taping at both top and bottom will give you a very precise area to cover with the this thing, and you will, this corner is there, right? If you are looking at this black corner, this you should never work with pencil. You should work with brush only. How do you work? Use this brush and paint here with charcoal powder. The bottom line. Make sure that you use a scale on the top, not tape, only scale. Why? Because this powder can get into the scale, in at the bottom of the scale. That's the reason it will give you this roundity, this particular line. That is how you create a very professional work. So nobody will ask you.
So, sorry, sir. Sir, in this we need to use scale, right?
Yes, yes. This particular black portion you should use scale, so that some portion of the powder will get into the bottom of the scale, not too much, so that it becomes round. This roundity will be shown. When you draw things like this, people will not dare to ask you 200 mein doge, 500 mein doge. No. They will estimate that it will be in thousands only. Then you can quote it for 8,000, 10,000, 15,000. But if you are drawing with a pencil and you are quoting for 15,000, ऊपर नीचे देखेगा वो खरीदने वाला, because he understood that you draw with a pencil and scale. But this, what I explained, even you guys who are drawing are not able to figure it out. How will he figure? He will figure it out. Did you get my point, Tandrika? అర్థమైంది కదా? So
Yes.
now the most important part, that is climax of this particular topic. Don't draw the whole violin. Try experimenting only this black portion that I am showing it to you. Only this black portion, experiment. Get a command over it, then start drawing the whole violin. Got my point? If you are drawing the violin and experimenting all this what I told you on the project, you will get pissed off and you will curse me from there. Okay, when you experiment it 2-3 times, you will get a hold onto it. Draw only this black piece, not anything. That is the reason sketchbooks are produced. Sketchbooks are produced to experiment. Even if you fail, that's okay, because that's a sketchbook. Okay, so
Yes.
very, 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 very important is to use the right paper. All the papers that are used by academies of realism, Toronto Academy of Realism, Bristol, then Florence Academy, then Grand Central Atelier, all these academies use Artistico, Fabriano Artistico paper to work on. Okay, but if you wanted to get the same effect, but they are 2,000, 3,000 rupees for 4 sheets, which are A2 sheets or A1 sheets. If you wanted to change, if you wanted to use anything instead of Artistic Fabrico, you can buy this book called Brushstroke. This Brushstroke will give you the same effect. This Brushstroke paper will give you the same effect. Okay.
Wow, sir.
Yes.
Very beautiful.
Because this paper will have that texture which is given by Artistic Fabriano.
Sir, what's the GSM of this Brushstroke book?
200.
Oh.
Yeah. Aishi, go ahead, beta.
For color pencils,
Hmm.
specifically Prismacolors, like which paper is advisable to use them on?
Yeah, you can use anything which is of 300 GSM, but what I have is Scholar Shammers, which is a very, very good paper. You can also use, if you are using, for example, if you are using pencils directly, you will have to use a smoother paper. Okay, if you wanted to experiment, there is something called Brushstroke Ultra Smooth paper is available. Ultra smooth Brushstroke paper is available, which is of very affordable, like some 400-500 rupees. You will get 12 sheets. Try using that. If you really like it, you can order a big ones also. Okay. In the higher price ranges, you can use Strathmore, Fabriano Academia, Strathmore 500 series, Strathmore Bristol series, Strathmore Vellum series. You can use these papers.
Okay, sir.
You want me to list out? If you want the list, you can buzz me after the class. I'll send you the list. Over to you.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Yes, I will.
And other thing is, if you wanted to use Prismacolor with this, let me show you. There is something called spirit or mineralless, odorless mineral spirit, which is by PBO, PEBEO, or white spirit aquaregia mineral artists. This is Winsor Newton's. So both of the spirits you can use. In the worst case, you can use Johnson's baby oil. And these ones can be used on a little textured paper like this. If you are seeing the texture, if you have this paper and you wanted to use this paper, those solutions, those liquids are supposed to be used, because the pigment will not get into the tooth of the paper. Okay, if you wanted to see the texture of the tooth of the paper to be visible, then yes, you can also use without those liquids on these brush sheets.
Okay, sir.
Good.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, the one which you have shown now, the background, is it like a directly drawn one, or is it from the dust of the pencil?
I drew using the crosshatch.
Crosshatch.
Using crosshatch technique, I do it with pencils.
So can we also use this mineral spirit for graphite pencils?
No, they are used for pastels.
Pastels means soft pastel.
Soft pastels.
So mineral spirit can be used for both soft pastel and color pencils.
Yes.
Not graphite or
Not,
charcoal.
not graphite. Charcoal can be used, but charcoal, on the charcoal, it is sprinkled to get that misty effect. As it is not directly used to dissolve the charcoal, but to get the misty effect, like sanitizers, we use sanitizer, right? The spray, small spray.
Yeah.
In that, you can use the spirit and spray on the background. It will give you that misty effect on the charcoal.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is done with pencils. Of course, initially there is a powder coat laid down, and then I used pencils. I mean, while drawing this particular area, there is some powder that also gets into this, but that's okay. But I used my pencil to draw. If you can closely see, you can see the horizontal and vertical lines, and that is because of the usage of pencil. Fine tip of the charcoal pencil all the time, keeping your sandpaper block aside and keep chiseling it to make sure that it is always sharp, and draw the horizontal and vertical lines. Even if the sketchbook that you are using, if it is supposed to be, if your intent is to create a beautiful work, please use these tapes on 4 ends and start drawing. You can play around with it. Once completely done, you can open it and it will give you these beautiful edges. So I would advise you to use the tapes.
So this is masking tape?
Yes, masking tape.
So when I use masking tape, the little fiber of the paper also gets stuck to it.
That is because of the wrong masking tape. The masking tape that you should use is this one, Ranbaxy RBX 8 is there, and there is another one I'll show you. This is very, very good one. It is I tell you.
Can you write down the name or put it in chat?
Yeah, you can make a note of it. It is I'll give you the name right now.
Because this problem I also face, like either the color seeps in or the page pulp comes out.
You see, JMS Meditape. Go ahead and ask in medical shops, not stationery shops. Go ahead and ask JMS Meditape, hypoallergic surgical tape. Kripa, you use this?
Sir, yes, I used, but the whole paper came out, sir.
No,
it is very strong.
Yeah, no, this JMS tape is a very easy one. So we can, it's a very transparent one, and it is easily tearable. Can you see?
Yeah, I'll check out, sir.
Yeah, JMS.
Because it was very strong. It came out actually.
Normally what
The
is-
whole paper came out.
yes, normally,
The one.
yeah, what you guys do is you go to stationery shops and buy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. JMS Meditape only. Hypoallergic surgical tape. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I used that.
No,
But I don't know. The whole paper tore out.
I think then you have been using on a very thin paper.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Which one I'm using?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just tell you.
Yeah, that could be the problem, because if it even 130 GSM also I use, it never came.
Yeah, 140. Yeah, 140 GSM I have used.
Okay. But this is very good one. I have been using it in all my drawings. It never created any problem to me.
Okay.
Yeah. Why
Is it okay, sir? 140 GSM? Actually, I wanted to ask this question, and thanks for the ones who asked this.
Yeah. 130 GSM is the minimum thickness of the paper that is supposed to be used. 130,
okay.
200, 220 GSM is something that is used for sketchbooks. Above 220 is used for projects. 230 to 300, 600 GSMs are also available. They use for watercolors.
The ones I'm using is 140 GSM artist drawing book. Yes. And the basic camel pencils, I'm using all the basics, and let me get used to, I thought.
That's right. The problem with most of the artists is we will go to stationery shops and we will buy masking tape. The stationery shop masking tapes will be very strong because it is supposed to glue. It is supposed to glue it permanently or for the long time. But in the medical kit, it will not be like that, because whenever they are using it for things like for cannula or some other areas, they use this because whenever they take it off, it is supposed to come out of the skin very easily without hampering the tissues of the skin. Of course, it hampers the people who are like me, like hairy, but otherwise it will be easy, very easy to peel it off. That's the reason JMS Meditape is supposed to be used for your drawing sheets. Lot of people have been struggling to understand this, so I thought I'll make it clear. Yeah, Nidhi, you are about to ask something?
No, this only.
This only? Okay. Right. Anu? Upasna? I have not heard any questions. Kusma?
Sir,
yeah.
I have a couple random questions.
Wait, shoot.
That pencil holder you were using, is it like of a specific brand or just a random one?
Aluminium?
Yes.
This is present in, this is available in Derwent. It is very costly. So I bought it on Amazon when it was little, not, I don't say cheap, it is 400 rupees per extender.
Okay.
ये थोड़ा खुजली ज़्यादा है उपासना, so I keep buying all this some fancy stuff. It is 400 rupees, and there is something. This is with wood, okay, wood and steel one. This is available for 185 rupees. You can buy this if you want. I can share the links with you. I can share the links with you. Both the links. It's up to you. तुम्हें मेरे जैसा खुजली है तो you can buy this. Otherwise, you can manage with this.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Derwent charcoal pencils, how are they? Like, are they?
They are good. They are good. I'm not saying great, but they are good. The great ones are, I would say, Conte Paris. Next to it, Generals and pit pencils. Pit pencils will be of this color. Pit pencils of slate color, like brown. Yeah, these ones are slate. These ones are pit pencils.
Okay.
Yeah. These pencils are, even the hard pencil is. See, this is hard pencil. See, look at here. In the Camlin, even the soft pencil is not this dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a differences, beta. That's the differences we actually see in various brands. Each and every brand is a very differently manufactured. That's the reason prices vary so much just because of the quality. See, this is charcoal medium. Okay, this is pit pencil hard. This is charcoal medium. See how dark this is. It looks like graphite in front of pit charcoal. So each and every brand has its own quality. We'll have to understand the quality. See, आप book में पढ़ोगे तो quality के बारे में you can read it, but you cannot experience. That's the reason we are supposed to work with different kinds of pencils. A lot of people think that these artists are like cinema actors. They keep buying something or the other always. No, it is absolutely not. People or artists who are buying things for experimenting are always commendable for their thought process, because they are supposed to understand the different kinds of qualities. Unless and until they understand the qualities, they cannot produce the qualitative output. Like I mentioned, in blue, one brand's blue is good. The same brand's greens are not good. You will have to buy, you will have to experiment and understand that this brand produces good greens. Like that, each and every brand has its own kind of positive edge. But when it comes to higher brands like Caran d'Ache Luminance, Atelier, they have 90 to 90% of all light fasting and successful pigments. It is because of the range of experiments that they do. That is the reason these color pencils, for 1900 you get 14. For 1900, the Atelier pencils you will get 2 or 3. Here you will get 72. That is a difference. Any questions? Upasana, 2? Any more?
Can you give some oil painting tips? I recently got into oil painting, so just any tips for beginners or frequently made mistakes like to avoid?
Yeah, so good that you have asked the question. See, this is hog brush, HOG. This is used, this is very tough if you closely observe. This is used for creating textures and for getting good amount of color stuck to brush, so that you can apply good amount of oil paint on the canvas. Okay, this will create textures. All the textured old masters drawing that you see with textures is just because of this. Okay, now these pencils are Princeton Aspen. Princeton Aspen. These are the brushes which can be used both for acrylic and oil, but these brushes are used to create the still life, glowing skin, or glowing porcelain, steel, or flowers or fruits which are glowing. Very smoothest. See, this is very tough. This is not so tough. They are easily bendable. Okay. And when it comes to this, it is watercolor brushes. These are called mop brushes. Okay. In the mop brushes, you have these mops, and these are normal brushes. In the watercolors, you will have normal brushes and mop brushes. Both these brushes, when you dip in water, they hold lot of water. And when you apply on the paper, they will release the amount of water, as much pressure as you apply. When you apply more pressure, more water will drop off. But here in this, for example, if you wanted to take any artificial brushes, they will take a lot of water. But as and when they are put it onto the paper, the whole lump of water will be dumped onto the paper. That is the reason these are not supposed to be used. All the artificial brushes are not supposed to be used unless until you don't have any way. But otherwise, these are the squirrel hair brushes which are used for watercolor brushes. Now for oils, if you wanted to buy basic oil colors, you can buy Camlin. But if you wanted to feel good and buy something really good ones, then you can buy Winsor Newton Artisan water mixable oil color. What does this mean? It is water mixable oil color. That means while drawing, painting with water, oils, this tube, the paint that comes out of this tube is not supposed to be mixed with water. But when you use the brush that is used to pick up the paint from this paint to draw on the canvas, this is supposed to be cleansed with the help of linseed oil or turpentine. Generally 100.1% all the artists use only turpentine. A small dabba of turpentine, which is of 300 ml or 250 ml, is poured in a kali dabba, and always these brushes are, after use, they are dropped into it. Okay, so that each and every smallest particle of the oil paint is completely dissolved. But here in Winsor Newton water mixable oil color, there is also something called a Gregorian. Okay, and like that, you have got 3-4 more brands which are water mixable oil colors available in the market right now. All those are, once this is done, painting is done, you can go and wash this brush instead of putting this into the turpentine for hours together to dissolve each and every small particle. This can be directly put under wash basin, and you can use small amount of soap and clean it with hot water. Hot in the sense lukewarm, not hot water. You can cleanse. That is the reason this is called water mixable oil color. Not this paint can be mixed with oil. No, this paint can be dissolved in water when you are washing the brush, not while painting. Please remember this.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions? We have got.
Can we use fixative on watercolors, Uncle?
Yeah, good question, Beta. For watercolors, there is no fixative. That is the reason watercolors, bright watercolors like Mission Magello, Dale Roni, such kind of Winsor Newton colors are used. Why? Because a beautiful paper, a right paper and right color will get glued to the paper correctly and it will never fade away. That's the reason all the watercolors are qualified. The qualification for a beautiful watercolor is light fasting. It will show with 3 stars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars. If any color has 5 stars, it is beautiful, brilliant. If it has 3 stars, it's okay. If it is 2 stars, only students who are just learning watercolors are supposed to be used. So in order to avoid, because not every color from every brand is a light fast, in order to avoid the pale effect because of the hot sun, because watercolors are being exhibited in outside and galleries or wherever, they get faded out. To avoid that, we are supposed to use acrylics or glass on top of our paintings. So there is no fixative required. For acrylics on canvas, varnish, the liquid is required to paint it using brush. For acrylics which are used on the paper, sprays are required. It is available from Camlin to the very good brands like Winsor Newton. Every brand has fixatives which are sprays like our normal hairspray or deodorants. So it's available. So remember, for papers, fixatives with spray. For canvases, fixatives which can be used like a liquid glue. Like our normal 10 rupees glue which is available in the stationery stores. The varnish is available like that, but it is easily flown by using brush, or you can use sponge also to use it. Any other questions?
Do we have to mix water in that varnish for canvas?
No. Don't ever use it. It will completely spoil the varnish.
So what is your opinion on varnish on oil? So should we varnish all the time, or as in, or is it needed? Or okay.
Should and must, but remember, it should be completely dry. Like it would take 8-10 months for few oil paintings. If you are using good amount of oil, good amount of paint from the tube, it will take 8 months, 10 months. But if you are using just a normal wash kind of thing, it will take few weeks. Depends upon the amount of paint that you pick up from the tube will take a little while for your oil painting to get dried up and then use. Only after complete dried up, you have to use the varnishes. Otherwise, the varnish will take the color along with your brush and it will completely spoil. Never ever do that gimmick.
And sir, what happens if somebody sells the painting in between varnish
okay.
because let's say 8-10 months has not passed by?
Yeah, that's okay.
also fine, right?
That's okay. Ask them to get it varnished by the nearest artist, or they can send it back to you. You can varnish and send it them back to the client.
Okay.
But
Sir.
instead of doing a to and fro, it's better if they have any professional artist there, they'll just varnish it. Simple. What is there? It doesn't take more than 2 minutes.
Sir.
Yeah.
Now that we are talking about oil painting, very recently I experienced, I might have messaged in the other groups also where you would have seen, the paint on the paintings, I observed fungus. So this was even after applying the varnish, and these are a bit old paintings, not the very recent ones.
Yeah.
So what to do, sir, or any help you can suggest to,
So with earbud, insecticide is there, right? The sprays, HIT, for example. I'm taking HIT, not HIT you use, but such kind of things you'll have to pour it in a small cup. Okay, dip it, start cleaning each and every small portion. That is the reason all the works, old masters, great master works they need what do you call, I'll tell you that word. We send it for car wash, right? Like that, it needs a proper replenishing. So, and it needs some amount of sunlight that needs to be exposed to. Only then the cloth, it is basically cloth, Chaitra.
Correct, sir.
Gets fungus, right?
This happened in the month of November when it rained heavily and we were away. So the house also was very closed. I think due to moisture.
Moisture. So first and foremost thing is you will have to keep it in sunlight for a couple of days continuously, and do not keep it in the nights again. No, whenever there is a hot sun for 3 to 4 hours, keep the 3 to 4 hours in the sun and bring it back home down. And like that, you will have to do it for 2-3 days continuously. Once it is completely dry, start using that insecticide with an earbud and start cleaning.
Okay, sir. And which insecticide do you suggest? Not the HIT, no, sir, not the HIT.
No. See, I'm talking about what is the kind of fungus that it has, because sometimes even on the corners and the back side, if you are putting this, what you call camphor, just press the camphor here and there on the canvas back side. That give you good smell, and fungus will not attack that.
Okay.
Good. Any other questions?
Hi, sir. What is your viewpoint on creating a shadow box for still life sketching?
Come again.
How to create a shadow box for still life sketching?
Okay.
Basically, what I'm looking for is like probably the bulb. How to analyze the temperature of it?
Yeah. Create a shadow box with the help of 1.5 by 2 Amazon cotton box. Stuff it with a cotton cloth, not any other cloth. Cotton cloth will not give you shine. All the amount of light that is being completely observed, the object which observes complete light only give you black color. The thick black color is because it has observed 100% light into it. Okay, absorb, not observe, absorb. Okay, so black cotton cloth and stuff it and then put the objects into it. And this particular box should be 1 to 1.5 feet below your eye level to see each and every angle of it in a 3D format of each and every subject that you are wanting to painting for. Second thing is like coffee table is the right size. When you are sitting somewhere, coffee table is the right size. Otherwise, people you might have also seen professionals putting it just above their eye level. That is also fine. Both the ways you will see things. Okay, and other thing is you can buy a light which is of I have 90 watt bulb, so each bulb is 30 watt. My bulb is, each bulb is 30 watt. So I have tri-light, that means 3 lights are there. I use to switch 1, 2 or 3 depending upon my requirement. That creates a natural light. Second thing is, when the lights are there, make it there is something I'll show you. Yeah, there is something called softeners. Okay, this, can you see? You are not able, you are able to see that there is something.
Yeah.
Now, but it has become matte. Now see, it is very clear. Such kind of things are available in the market. They are also called, I'm not remembering the dates, the names. 1 second, just give me a second. Let me remind myself. It's
There
called,
is a tracing paper.
no, 1 second. Let me tell you. Light diffuser sheets. It's called Miller sheets, MILLER.
And sir, also that tri bulb, that's, I mean, whatever you are having.
Trilight, that is, you can search for trilights in the Amazon. I have Simpex trilight. This I have.
Simplex. Okay.
Simpex, not simplex. Just remove L from it. I have Simpex trilight. This one costed me for about 8,000-9,000 some 5 years back. Simpex trilight, those are the 3 bulbs that you can use. Each bulb is 30 watt.
Okay, now when each bulb is 30 watt, do you also see that what is the Kelvin of those bulb, like whether you want a warm light or a cool light?
6,400 Kelvin.
Okay.
So 220 to 240 watt, 240 voltage. I have.
So how do you use this light? You just put this light on the still object, is it?
Yes,
on
I cover
still life.
I cover the lights, the dome of the lights with the help of a butter sheet. If you do not have anything, you get butter sheets under your pattu sarees. You can use the 1 or 2 sheets, cover the dome, and it will soften the light. Then use it to record, to shoot, to throw some light on the still objects. All these things will be.
So butter sheet is used if we are not using the Miller sheet.
Yes. No, if you are not getting Miller sheets and if you don't know what is
yeah,
it's simple.
Okay, and one more thing, like when you said that black cloth, can we also paint with black acrylic? Or black cardboard. I mean that that sheet, like black chart paper or something.
You can use, those are all the alternatives for the black cotton cloth, but the black cotton cloth is the one which doesn't reflect any light. It will give you good results. So I would advise you to use black cloth, but if you do not have, that's fine. You can paint it with a black color and you can use it.
Because I mean, okay, I was just wondering that when you put the black cloth, does it not like create some air and all inside, or do you stick it there?
Yeah, I use, see, Amazon cotton dabba, right? You can use the pins.
Oh, okay.
Pins you can pin up here and there, and it will stay as is.
Got it.
These are all jugards, Indian jugards. Or you can use binder clips like this.
Yeah.
What not? You ask me, I'll give you what not. Yes, we have 15 more minutes. Not that I'm pressurizing you, I'm asking you to, I'm probing you to ask more questions.
Sir, I saw your recent work about this chiaroscuro. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it even because it's very new to me. Okay. Yeah, so can you please just tell more about it? What is it like? It's a technique, it's something.
Yes, that's a good point. Dina, these are durust questions. Okay, that is called Atelier program. It's called Atelier Knowledge that I'm launching newly. So previously in our olden days, we don't have 70, 80, 100 megapixel cameras. So for example, if you are looking at anybody's hair, for example, Mrunmay's hair, okay? Her hair from the ear to the end of her hair, you see that there is a lump of, strand of hair that are like a band, but you don't see each and every single hair. Am I right or not? But when you take an iPhone or a higher end camera and you take a picture of Mrinmai, you will see each and every strand that is falling from top of her head to ear, and each and every hair, not strand, each and every hair is glowing or reflecting a light at some portion, which is forming kind of this kind of area. That means on the whole strand, let me draw it and I'll show it. On the whole strand of hair, okay, each and every strand is visible, but there is only glow on this area. Only this area is glowing, rest are all black. Again, the black is more black here and little less black here, but it is white here. This is with iPhone. But when you are drawing in the Atelier program, that means old master's methodology of drawing, you will draw the whole hair like this. That's it, nothing else. And if at all you wanted to show some difference in the lights, like for example, the lights that we are showing here, we will draw it like this. That's it. So the simple point, for example, if you are all layman, you don't understand anything, but you wanted to know what is the difference between realism and this one. So this, where is my pencil? I forget now only. Okay, this is realism. This is academic approach or atelier approach, whatever you call it as. So when you are looking at these two things, realism or hyperrealism is something that has come into picture after getting high definition pictures, after shooting the pictures with the high definition cameras, and each and every photograph is 5 MB. With one high definition camera, if you are shooting it, it will be, let us take, it could be 2 MB, 3 MB, 5 MB, 6 MB, like this. But they are not giving you in 5 MB, they are giving you in 25 MB, 30 MB. If you are looking at Google photographs, they are very, very high quality. It is because such 5 MB photos are being, so for example, this hair is being shot in 5 cameras. 5 photographs are laid down on top of each other. So when 5 photographs or 6 photographs are laid down on top of each other, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 is 25 MB. That's the reason you are getting 25 MB picture. That's the reason you are drawing each and every strand and you are erasing each and every strand with Tombow, T-hoop, different. But here it is not like that. This is simple. If you are like a layman, you don't know anything. You have not even gone to school, first class, second class school also. Okay. Now I'll tell you in like that. So in this atelier program, it is like as if you are looking at something through a veil. What is veil? Your chunni, dupatta, a see-through dupatta, see-through veil. If you are looking at see-through veil, it will be like this. Is it clear like this? Yes, it is absolutely clear. But now when I put it, it is blurred. Such kind of effect is being drawn. Methodology is being, approach is being, taken into consideration, and it is being drawn this way. That's the reason old masters' drawings never will have a smallest, finest details. It will all be covered, but the overall effect will be so beautiful and realistic. Now, chiaroscuro is playing around with light and shadows. That means light is white, shadow is dark. Now, when it comes to this work, which I have drawn, this is a yogi sitting, whose name is Ramana Maharshi. So I have drawn the whole thing because there is a texture on the paper. The whole thing is drawn like this. And with finest tips, I have drawn this. And this is academic approach. So chiaroscuro means light, shadow, light, shadow, light, shadow, light, shadow. The shadows are, this is darker, this is darkest. Lights are, this is dull, this is duller, this is dullest. So each and every light family has 3-4 categories. Each and every shadows has 3-4 categories. but they're all drawn with the same kind of pencil with a smoky effect. That is using a veil. You are looking at it through a veil. That is the reason you are not able to see nostrils, nose, or nothing is visible clearly, but it appears to be beautiful. This is called chiaroscuro, playing with light and shadow using an Atelier approach. And this is what is being taught with $6,000 fees for 3 months. So you will have to learn for 27 months. The whole program is 27 months, and for 3 months it is $6,000. 27 into 6,000. You calculate it, and that is the math that you will have to put it as a tuition fee. Forget about the traveling cost, food cost, accommodation cost. Okay, there is something called ARC. That is the organization with which all these ateliers are affiliated to, and they produce a certificate which is equal to diploma in drawing or bachelor in drawing, master in drawing. So there are 3 courses: drawing, painting, and then a core course. That is, you are using all the knowledge of first and second year in third year, and you produce a project. That's the reason it is very, very pricey. And if you are seeing this particular methodology, you try to find out more information about this on YouTube, you will rarely find some information about it. Very rarely. It is because of this. Nobody will teach you. Since it's a very pricey stuff, it is not being taught in online, freely on YouTube. Good. Any more questions?
Uncle, about the watercolors, you said like if they're in the sunlight, they fade. So
Yeah.
if we just like keep it at home without like a place where there's no sunlight, would that be fine?
Yes. If you are using a good watercolors, like I mentioned, Mijello or Delaroni or Winsor Newton, they will stay for long. And also the paper matters. Arches hot press, Waterford, Saunders Waterford, Artistico Fabriano, then Strathmore watercolor paper is there. Such kind of watercolor papers will give you good life. Okay, but I would advise you to add, after for a very simple experiment, the pencil, the paper that you can buy is this. Is the paper that I generally use, Maestria paper. This is the paper that I am right now currently working on. Okay, see this paper. Can you see the clarity of the texture?
Yes, Uncle.
This is the texture. So when we use this, it works. Maestria paper is of 3 kinds. One is rough, cold pressed, and hard pressed. So you can use any of these things, and you can create a beautiful textures like this with the help of colors. Once this is done, I would advise you, if it is not a very, very huge one, even if it is A1, I would advise you to use glass to put it on. Glass will give you very good effect. Of course, there are 2 glasses. In front of glass, if you are standing, there is your image visible in the glass. There are other glasses wherein your image is not visible. That means the painting is clearly seen in all the directions wherever you go to. There is no light reflection. Glasses are 3 to 5 times expensive than the normal glass. If one simple glass is 500, the same simple glass will cost you 2,500 to 3,000 for a simple A4. That glass is also there. And if you are actually sending it out to different places, but you want it to be covered, use acrylic sheets. Acrylic sheets are plastic sheets, transparent, they are very good. Any other medium is uncovered today? Watercolor, oils, graphite, charcoal, color pencils. Any medium?
No, sir. But sir, I had just one question, not related to anything. I've heard watercolor. I've heard hot press, cold press, but I never understood the difference between hot press and cold press. I've never used watercolor.
Okay.
Like that. Not never, but I've never made a painting, so I didn't understand the difference between hot press and cold press.
It is simple, beta. Hot press in the sense ironing. And whenever you, why do you iron? Because you have wrinkles on your shirt. So you iron so that it becomes very smooth and clean. Hard press is the paper which gives you no texture. Cold press will give you texture. In order to get these textures of the leaves and all these things, generally these are not the hard press are not used for these textures. Cold press are used. Hard press are used for creating a beautiful smooth skin, smooth flowers, smooth fruits, or smooth objects like ceramic pots, jugs, mugs, like that. So generally, if you have textures in the nature, you use cold press. So that's the reason most of the artists, watercolor artists, use cold press, not hard press. But we can use hard press also, nothing wrong.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
And for all those very newly learning artists, I would say there is something called OHU, OHU. You will get for 2,000 rupees, you will get some hundreds pens, sketch pens. Those are called micron pens, or the experimentation purposes. You can buy any sketchbook and use. Each and every sketch pen has a flat at one end and a sharp tip at the other end, both the ends. So for those who wants to experiment with colors, buy a good sketchbook from Brusto or Anupam. You can buy these things and try using those pens to create such beautiful effect without using color pencils, pastels, on all these things. That those can be created, used to create such good effects. Later, when you are getting hold of the colors, how to use color, where, what, how, you can go ahead with watercolors or soft pastels or color pencils or oil colors or acrylics later. But initially, that's the easiest way, or what I would say is the economical way of experimenting with colors. Good. We have 2 more minutes. I can give you 5 more minutes if you have got any questions. On any medium that is uncovered, untouched, undetected.
So, which pen do you use for signing your paintings?
Which pen?
Yes.
Okay.
How do you? Yes, to sign the paintings. Yes.
I use Faber-Castell spit pens.
So they can be used on oil paintings.
Yes, absolutely. On the canvas, they come in only black color. I use them.
Okay, sir.
I don't have it right now to show it to you, but you can Google, say that Faber-Castell pit pens, it will show you. I can also Google and show you.
Pit pen?
Pit, P-I-T-T.
What do you call it, sir? Faber-Castell?
P-I-T-T pen. Pit.
Okay, pit pen. Okay, got it.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see.
Do you use the same for charcoals and all, uncle?
Yeah, charcoals, I use charcoal only. This one, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this one I use, this pen I use. This is one brand. When you write with this pencil or this pen, this pen, it will stay for lifelong. Even if you use water, whatever it is, it will never fade. It will be as is, these pens. So when you buy these pens, these pens can be used on various things, but especially I use it for signing.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Good. Anything else?
Sir, thank you so much. This was very informative, sir. very useful session, sir.
अरे खोल के मैं आपके सामने रख चुका हूँ. Then it's up to you how you want it to use.
Actually, sir, this is what I've realized. Ki in your class, no doubt, gets unanswered. Everything gets answered with more information, and you fine tune all our understanding. So that's a very, and it's good that we ask question, because we ask one thing and we get to know 10 more things. So that's the beauty of asking questions.
Yeah, because every day I go to war, so I experience so much. So I collect all those experiences and I share it. Every day there is a war, and I like waging wars. So I go for war every day. I'll collect all the information and I'll keep it in mind. There is nothing that I have drafted down in any book or any notes. I would love to keep it in mind, because there is so much always every day to understand and learn from. So I can't draft everything, because I love painting and drawing, right? So again, to write all this, it will take a lot of time. So I keep it in mind. That's the reason I thought I'll speak to you guys rather clarifying and messaging. I thought I'll speak to you and I'll clear those. So once in a while, I'll come up with this kind of alumni meet. Whoever is really interested, you can directly participate. If not, I can share a recording with you. The recording will, I am recording it right from the moment one. So it will be there. I can share it with you. In the groups, you can download according to your convenience. But it will stay for only 1 week. As usual, only 1 week it will stay. Later it will get dissolved. So if you are not able to download, or if your system crashes, you will have to find out who was there, whom you know in the group, and approach them. Don't approach me again, because I will not have this recording. See, seriously. Okay. Chalo, you have a wonderful week, Sunday ahead, and happy festive season. Enjoy.
Thank you,
And remember to put 3 to 4 hours every week. At least 3 to 4 hours. If you have not put 3 to 4 hours this week, like EMI will get debited from your account with interest. So you'll have to work 6 hours next week. That is the attitude that we should create. Only then we'll progress. Okay. So have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.